Can you all hear me? Yeah. Great. Thank you, Jonathan, so much for that wonderful introduction. One of the things that Jonathan didn't mention is that the organization that I work for is a labor management organization that serves about 30,000 members a year, and I have the privilege of working with one of the larger programs, which is students who want to become nurses and practicing nurses for their continuing education. So how rewarding it is to be able to have the support of a training program that then helps me to be able to give back in this way. This is so exciting. I'm so happy to be here with all of you this afternoon. And we want to invite you to eavesdrop in our conversation that we'll be having. We welcome you to our living room. And I use that term not only because we're sitting here with chairs and tables, but just like families who gather in living rooms around the country, we feel that we are connected. We are connected because of our passion for workforce development and our commitment to changing the workforce of the United States. Do we all agree? Isn't that why we're all here? Wonderful. This afternoon you will hear 3 stories of lives that was changed by different programs, 2 of which were directly changed by programs of the National Fund, and then a little bit of my own story will be weaved into some of this as we go through the afternoon. I want to introduce to you Candice and Margarida. Margarida participated in the Best Corp training program supported by Skills Work in Massachusetts, and we're going to hear a little bit more from her in 1 minute. And Candice, who participated in the BTI program supported by the Baltimore Workforce Founders Collaborative. Welcome, you ladies. Good afternoon. How are you both doing today?
Great, thank you. Excited to be here.
Wonderful, wonderful. So we wanted to get into your stories and learn a little bit more about how we all came to be here today, but I want to hear a little bit more about both of you and how you came to be here today. So for the first question, I'll start with Margarida. Margarida, tell us where you were when you learned about the program that you participated in Massachusetts.
I was working at a fast food restaurant and tried to get myself in a different, do a different things, and I tried to go to school, and in the school I heard about the Best Corp program.
Okay, thank you so much. You want to tell us a little bit more about what that training program entails?
In that program, I learned a lot about customer service. I learned a lot about using, I'm sorry, so nervous.
Take your time. You're doing well.
Thank you. I learned about how to use my body safety. I get a little bit more of a computer skill.
Wonderful, wonderful. Candice, would you like to tell us a little bit more about where you were at the time you found the program that you participated in?
Before I came to BCI, I was homeless. I was working part-time jobs. I was working as a cook. I was working as a temp worker. It was just enough for daycare. It was just enough. It wasn't enough to really get ahead. When I found out about BTI, I was pretty much at the bottom. And I said, well, there's nowhere to go but up. So going through the BTI training program, we learned the basic skills in biotechnology, assay techniques, pipette usage, cell culture. It was really great. I really enjoyed the experience, and because of that program, it really catapulted me into a new career. Before that, I was working in kitchens for 12 years. I thought, well, that's all I know. That's all I can really do, even though I had a desire to do more. Financially, I was just stuck. BTI afforded me that chance for free to learn the skills that pretty much changed the direction of my life. So now I'm here working at Johns Hopkins University, work as a lab technician, and I'm just really, really excited about this.
Thank you so much, Candice. Thank you for sharing the beginning of what seems to be an exciting journey that you've embarked upon. I think as Candice was starting to echo, each of us sitting here had the desire, the will, but not always the means to be able to accomplish our education and career goals. And through programs like the one that all of you in here either fund or collaborate on or maintain every day, we were able to accomplish some of those goals. And so we were excited to tell you a little bit more about our journey. So tell me a little bit about your current job, Margarida. What are you doing currently now, and how is it different than the job you were doing before, working in fast food?
I'm currently work as a room attendant at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Boston. It's so much different because before I was working a fast food restaurant, making a minimum wage, and with 2 kids to support.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's happiness.
Yes.
I didn't have any benefits. When I say benefit, it's the health insurance that for me or my kids, now I have this privilege to add a health benefit for me and my kids. And making a minimum wage go up to twice, it's a huge difference for me. And I'm so happy to know about this program, and I hope that many more people heard about it so can get the same thing that I'm getting now.
Thank you, Margarita, for sharing that amazing part of your story. Just like you, I was an immigrant who came to this country, and at one point found myself in New York City being a parent and not having a lot of opportunities. And through the education fund that I now currently work for, was afforded the opportunity to be able to go back to school and improve my life. So I'm so glad that we have this connection and this opportunity to share how programs like this transform lives. Candice, how are you? Good. So tell me a little bit about the program you attended, and what were some of the major learnings from the program you attended, and how has it changed your life?
Some of the major things I learned at BTI, I don't think there's really one thing that was like major over the other. I was fortunate enough, after the training, I did my internship, which was paid, thank God. I had a paid internship for Johns Hopkins, and I was excited about that. Everything that I learned at BTI, I was able to use all those skills there, which is just a joy. That was a blessing. And on top of that, I also learned more while I was there. This really not, I can't say that that's an opportunity that a lot of people get at internships. A lot of people don't trust interns, like, don't touch anything, just sit there. So it was really fun to actually, really get, hands-on and really show what I learned. That was the greatest part of it. It was just to say, I'm not just here to be here, but I am competent, I'm capable, and I'm ready to do this. After the internship, I just said, hey, can I just keep coming back? I really enjoy the work. I really enjoy learning this. They said, sure. 2 weeks later, I was offered a temporary job, just filling in for some woman. She was going on maternity leave. I did her job. After her 12 weeks were up, she came back. She gave her 2 weeks notice. And I ended up being full-time. So that was a joy in and of itself, being able to make a living and really take care of my son. We weren't homeless anymore, and just being able to as mothers, you know, we are our children's first and most important teacher. And one of the things that we always stress to our children is that, you know, you go out there and you keep pushing against all adversity, against anyone telling you no or what you can or cannot do. You know, as long as you see it for yourself, you go out there and you keep doing it until it happens. And to actually have it manifest in your own life, you know, it's just a living testimony to your children that it does happen. It does happen, and, you know, you can do it, you know. And I think one of the major things that I really took from my experience was my mindset. Even through, you know, the poverty and everything, one thing that I really had to learn was my mindset. It may not have changed the circumstance that I was in, but it changed the way in which I viewed the circumstance. And I learned how to drop some of the negative thinking that I had in my mind. One thing that I tell people, no matter where I go, is do not say, I can't.
Absolutely.
Because whatever comes after I can't, you've already defeated yourself. You've already written yourself off to do it. So that's one thing that I did while at the program, you know, learning how to help other people and reaching out and say, look, we're going to do this together. We're here to succeed together. Yeah, that was just like one of the major things that really helped me in this experience.
Wonderful. You know, it's great to hear about how our lives not only change, but how it impacts our children, how it impacts our families. I am the mother of a son who's now 24 years old, but when I started my education journey, he was just about 4 years old. And so the whole time I went to school, he was kind of growing up with me. And so when he was dealing with the challenges of having a learning disability, he looked at me and he said, Mom, I can learn from you because you never gave up. You know, and so what we do really has the potential to inspire so many others. And I just wanted to, Margarida, to talk a little bit about what we were sharing when we talked earlier, when you had mentioned about having your children. Your children are a little bit older. You want to share?
Yes, I have two daughters. One is 18 and the other one is 5. And right now, I feel like proud of myself because I know that I can support my daughter that going to college this year. And also with this job that I have now, I have more time to spend with them. And there's so many things that I can do with my kids that I couldn't do it before. So sorry.
We completely understand your emotion. This is transformative. It's an opportunity to do what so many of us dream about every day when we came to this country, as we live in this country. And I know, you know, I understand your passion around your daughter going to college. I remember my son being one of the first teenagers in my family to go directly from high school to college. And, you know, what a proud moment it was. We all celebrated because it was an opportunity that, you know, for the next generation of our family to live a different life. And that's really so exciting. Margarida, you were also sharing with me that your life was being transformed not only because of the job you now have, but some of the benefits that have come along with that job. Would you like to share a little bit more?
Right now I have so many benefits that I didn't even know that I couldn't have it. There's so many great benefits. One of that I mentioned before is a health benefit. I also have the sick days. I have the holiday pays. I have program, the housing program there with the union that can help you get a house. And it's so many that I don't know how to say. I'm so grateful for this program.
Yeah. And Margarita was telling me the story that she's going to have the opportunity, because of a $10,000 loan, I think it is, from her union, to be able to purchase her first home. And I was sharing with her that I did something similar in utilizing a program that we have through 1199 to help me to purchase my first home. A dream, maybe 10 years ago I didn't think was even possible. And now through this opportunity of education, we have this chance to be able to live and be part of the American dream, not just to stand on the sidelines and see it, but really to actively participate in it. So Candice, tell me a little bit more about what has changed in your family. I know from you and your son going from being homeless to now having a place that you can call home, but how has that impacted your relationship with your son? I know you're very proud of him. You're showing me pictures of him graduating from kindergarten. Share a little bit more with how that is different for you.
As far as the home front dynamic, just being able to spend more time with him, that means so much. You just
Yes.
want to be there for the moments in your child's life. You want to be able, I'm able to, along with benefits, 'cause before, it was like if I hear a cough, oh my God, it's going down. Like I can't afford this. We can't afford to take off. Oh my God, I could lose my job. And now to be able to say, my son is ill, I won't be able to come in and just not have the pressure of, oh my God, how are we gonna eat if I call out? It's taking so much stress off. And when that stress is taken off, we don't realize how stressed we are until we take it out on our children, inadvertently. We don't mean to. We're just like, oh my God. But to not have that stress anymore, it's just like I can breathe. And, he's happier because mommy is happy. And, we can go little places like the aquarium and to just do small things that a lot of people take for granted. It's just amazing how much that means. And just to be able to be there for his graduation instead of saying, I have to work, I need somebody to go, take pictures for me. Did you take pictures? How did he look? Did you straighten out his clothes? Did he have any crust on his face? Did you clean it off? It's I can be there myself to clean the crust off his face. So, it's those little things that people take for granted. It's just tremendous, and it's just been wonderful to be able to partake in it and to enjoy being a mother instead of it feeling like a tremendous burden all the time. So.
Absolutely. And, I think what you're referring to has a lot to do with some of what we were talking about earlier today, about better skills, but better skills that leads to better jobs. I think what some of the things that we're discussing here is the ability to really have what we can call a career rather than just to have a job that we show up to. And when we are working for a minimum wage job, you're also putting in a lot more hours just to bring food to the table and other things. And so this is really, really an exciting time for us. But I would like to hear from each of you a little bit about the specific program you went through and how the support, maybe from the Baltimore Workforce Funders Collaborative, made a difference in you being able to complete that program, rather than if you were trying to do it on your own. And the same for you, Margarita. I would like to hear a little bit from you on that as well.
Well, through the Baltimore Workforce that help fund programs like BTI, first of all, the fact that it was free training. The biotechnical field is not a cheap one. It's, that education costs. So to be able to have these teachers and this staff that have years of experience in the field, that have paid their dues, that have made the way, that have earned their titles, to come in and say, hey, I want to teach other people that want to learn about the sciences, to say that, hey, we learned this and we want to give it to you. It's just been phenomenal. It's been phenomenal. It's priceless There's nothing that I can put on that could really express it. Programs like this, I can say for BTI, it felt like it was almost like a well-kept secret. And programs like this shouldn't be kept as secrets. It shouldn't feel like it's a secret. I believe that more funding to the program would be phenomenal. I want to see this program expand. I want to see it reach more people. There are lots of people that want to work. They just hit a hard time in their life. You know, people start over. In my cohort, I met people that were accountants. I met people that came from the military. I met people that had their own businesses. And the great equalizer was just everybody hit a rough patch, and we just needed to start anew. And this program allowed us, you know, to start again, and allowed us to believe in ourselves and build ourselves up again from that rough patch. So I would really like to see this program expand and reach more people and really be put out there to say, hey, you guys, we're not a secret. We've been around for quite a while, and we're here to help the community and build the community.
Wonderful. Margarida, would you like to tell us a little bit about the support you received during your training, your hospitality training, and how it made a difference in terms of you being able to complete?
More than happy to share the Best Corp Hotel Learning Center program. That, like I say, I learned a lot, and they help you with your English if you don't have it, if you don't know much, and they help you with the computer. They help you with so many things, like teaching you about customer service, how to work as a team, teaching you how to use your board to work, and it's so many help. They help you with the resume, and the best one for me, they help you find a job, which is, for me, it's great because I didn't know how to move forward. Then I get there, I'm here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. And Margarita, you were also telling me a little bit in one of our previous conversations about the fact that going to school and participating in the program, you felt a little bit better equipped to help your children when they came home with homework. You want to talk a little bit about that?
I get emotionally. When it comes to my kids, I just want to cry. I'll try not to. Now, with this job, knowing new people, learning more, and I can finish my 8 hours, then go home, help my kids with the homework, especially the little one, because the older one, she would teach me. But it's like, I don't have a word to explain that. It's wonderful. I can do so many things with my kids, not only help them with the homework, but help them with their our life.
To be better people.
To be better me.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for, dealing with your emotions, but sharing your story with us. It's so important that we tell the story of how our lives have changed and been transformed by these programs. So, Candice, I know we were talking about the fact that sometimes once we get started down a path of educating ourselves and developing a career, it becomes something that just propels us to want to continue to do more. So share with us about what's next in Candice King's life in terms of training and education.
Well, in terms of moving forward, I will be starting school this summer at Baltimore City Community College. I'm completing BTI. Completing the program at BTI counts for the first 6 credits of BCCC's biotech program. So, got to go ahead and cash that in.
Absolutely.
The goal is to pursue my bachelor's degree in biotechnology. So look forward to that. What else? Maybe next year I plan on testing to receive certification for my LAT, which is laboratory animal technician. It's more of a supervisory position. I'm just looking forward to growing and learning in my career. This is a wonderful opportunity. I've always loved science. I've always been interested in it ever since I was a little one. And just to be able to have a career in it now, it still feels like a dream. So I'm just gonna take it to wherever. Also, I still come back to BTI and I talk to the cohorts that come in and just give them words of encouragement and just talk to them and just say, hey, you guys, this is like a great opportunity and I'm so happy for you and you can do it. And, it just feels really good just to reach back and just say, hey, like, I'm a product of this, and say, this is what's possible, and, I wish the very same for you. So that's what it is right now.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Candice. This whole mindset of paying it forward and being able to continue to help to transform the lives of others and not just our own. I know, Margarida, you also talked to me about wanting to give back and wanting to be a part of your community and help to enhance it. Would you like to share a little bit more with our group?
Don't cry, Margarida.
We're here for you. So we know that Candice has a second career. Should the bachelor's not work out, we have a natural comedian right here. She's cracking us all up.
So now you're going to make me ask her the question again.
So tell me a little bit more about how the fact that you finished the program, you spoke to me about being grateful for the program, and now it makes you want to share with others, give back, help people in your community.
Yeah, I would like to have more ways for other people like me knowing about this program, because like she said, I'm an immigrant. So there's so many more immigrants that don't have a job or work and make a minimum wage. And I wish there's a lot of more ways that people know about this. Not only me and wait to go in another program to find out about this program. So I don't know, I would like this program to be more expanded so everybody can know about it and people like me can get it, the same thing that I got.
Yeah. And Margarida was also saying to me that the fact that she went through this program and it has transformed her life, she wants more, not only does she want more people to know about it and to learn about it, but she herself want to be able to have an opportunity to touch their lives and to give back to them. And so that is really, really exciting. Thank you, Margarida, for your wonderful story and just for the way that you want to be able to help and to create a better community for working people and for immigrants in America. Thank you so much. So, Candice, I know we talked a little bit about specifically how the program has impacted you and what you're planning to do next, and other things that you shared about wanting to make sure that there was more funding happening. And you were saying a little bit before when we were talking earlier about this being kind of a secret, and you would like to be part of the conversation. And how do we share the great work of what's happening in this room, whether it's through funders, collaboratives, or training organizations with others? And would you like to talk a little bit more about that with our audience?
let's see, how can I word this? I'm trying to figure it out.
Take a moment.
I would just personally just the what I had to go through in order to find out about BTI. I gotta say some of it was just really unnecessary. You know, some channels, you know, just going through certain workforce programs that were kind of like dead end. They really were dead end. They really aren't built to help people. They're really more built to demean and disrespect and degrade you and make you feel less. It made me feel like a number. It made me feel that I was wasting time to get menial work that was nothing. I would finish the program and ended up being paid to do just really minor, I call it monkey work, just really simple, no-brainer tasks, getting paid $7.25 an hour. And it's just like, what is this? What is this? And in that time, never once was a program like BTI mentioned. Never once. It made me angry because so many people, are intelligent and just thriving individuals, and we just need a way out. And, to just be put through a ringer, I think it was just so frustrating. There was actually one social services worker, I can't remember his name, he was very forthright and honest with us. He said, I'm just tell you the truth, social services is built to frustrate you. It's built to put you through the ringer. It's just built to put you in a circle. Your time is not your own, which is true. You're just gonna do what they say to get these little bit of benefits, and then we're gonna put you through the ringer to get those benefits. It was very draining. It was very draining. And even going through social services, some of their workforce programs still didn't tell me about BTI. I actually ended up finding out about BTI, again, through another social services supervisor. He just pulled me to the side. I was working in the kitchen. He just called me over. He said, do you want to do this all your life? I said, no. I said, if I would really like to go to a training program. If I had to start from the bottom, I really don't care. I just want to learn something different. He slipped me a piece of paper that had an address on it, and basically it was just a workshop for different services offered throughout the city. And I looked around again, and the gentleman handed me a piece of paper. BTI was the first program on the first sheet of paper on that list. And that's how I found out about it. I shouldn't have had to find out that way. BTI should have commercials, as far as I'm concerned. They should have a billboard plastered up downtown. There should be advertisements on the bus. Hey, you want to change your life? Interested in the sciences? Come to BTI. Like, that's how it should be. It should be just blurted out to the world, not some little 4-sentence description on a piece of office paper. I just think that's completely disrespectful, especially in how it has changed not only my life, but quite a few other people's lives that have gone through the program. Something like this should be advertised just as much as universities and colleges are advertised. I am a Phoenix, I am a BTI graduate. That's how I feel about it.
So for those of you who are wondering about messaging, Candice has just helped you out. You want to change your life, right? That's kind of where we start. You want to change your life, this is where you go. And I think, what we're highlighting is the difference between workforce programs that are just workforce programs and then good workforce programs that produce the results that we see here on this stage today. And in so many ways around this room, I'm sure there's many others in the audience who has been touched by either a training program or a collaborative or a funder who's helped you to achieve your career goals. Any of you in the audience, raise your hands if you were affected by this. One, two, a couple of people. Yeah, wonderful. This is great work, and we need to be able to tell it loud and clear and be able to talk about what it does and how it changes our lives. So thank you so much for that new catchphrase, Candice. And I know that Margarida, Candice, and myself wanted to first say thank you to the National Fund for this opportunity to be able to talk with you and to share our stories. So I'm going to let each of the ladies say thank you, and then we'll want to leave you with a couple of takeaways that we think we would like you to remember when you leave here today. So Margarida, would you like to start?
I would like to thank the workforce, and I also would like to thank my people from the best group. And I would thank everybody in this room. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And I cry, but it's not because I'm unhappy, it's just because I'm happy.
Thank you to National Workforce Solutions. Really appreciate it. You know, thank you. These are just a few stories among many. This is a testimony that what is being done for the community is really benefiting the community, and we just want to continue to do that. To Mrs. Kathleen Weiss, the director of BTI, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share my story. She is like my cheerleader. I love her. And thank you to everyone in here for just coming out and listening, and everyone looking so nice. Yes. So thank you.
And I also would like to thank the National Fund for this opportunity. I would also like to thank my training and employment fund that afforded me the opportunity to go back to school. I'd like to thank all of you in this room. And I would like to remind you that when you're in your work settings every day and you're feeling a little frustrated or something is not working out or whatever the challenge is, remember what the fruits of your labor are producing. We are just a few examples, as Candice said, who sit here before you as examples of what your labor can produce. So when you're feeling like you're toiling away, just remember us, remember our stories, remember the transformation that you've given to our lives, but more importantly, the opportunity to transform our entire communities, because we know that in many studies and many outcomes that we see in our community, if we want to stop violence, if we want to stop health-related issues, whatever it is, education, training, access to great jobs and careers, and health insurance, and all of these things are what's going to make a difference. And so we thank you from the bottom of our hearts, not only for the opportunity, but we thank you because you've transformed our lives, and we're profoundly grateful. And we know that we could not have done it without the services and the programs that you provide. And we want to thank the funders who put their monies, their pocketbooks behind programs like the ones that we all get to enjoy. Thank you so much. And our employers who support many of these programs, thank you all very, very much.